and welcome back to Dames and Dorks this Thursday. How are y'all doing today? We're so excited that you guys are joining us tonight because today's show is celebrating life, freedom, liberty, justice, and not only that, we're celebrating Lily's birthday today too. Yay! Yay. Our girl is moving fast in life. She's done with school. She's getting older. She's like fine wine. She's going to be just tasty as beautiful as ever. Oh my gosh. Happy birthday, Lily.
I hope so. My body doesn't feel that way anymore. All of a sudden I woke up yesterday and like everything hurt. Just kidding. Yep. But like basically.
Yes. No, like one day you're young and next you're sneezing and your back hurts. Exactly. That's I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. I'm sorry I brought that up, but yeah, so we're happy that Lily has been a part of our lives. She's been such a great contributor here to all of us here at Dames and Dorks, and also within the chat. She's really good. She has a passion with pop culture. She's very knowledgeable. She is someone that needs to be in everyone's life because she is such a treasure, and I definitely value my friendship with Lily and as the girls here on Dames and Dorks.
Thank you so much, Nomi. I'm like, don't make me cry.
No, okay.
Just kidding.
I'm wearing $150 of makeup on.
I know. Don't do that. Just kidding. Okay. Oh no. Okay. No, I'll be serious now. No, thank you so much, you guys. This has been so much fun. Taking this little journey with everybody and getting to know everybody so much more better and getting to know everything that you guys like. So I'm happy to be here celebrating with you guys, and then of course with our guest. So
speaking with our guest,
it's gonna be a super fun stream.
It's gonna be a heck of a stream because our favorite person is joining us tonight. Yay! Tabitha.
All right, let's talk fire. All right, first off, no, I'm just kidding.
First off, happy. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so much craziness happening right now.
I'll try to contain it until it's appropriate. Until Nomi messages me and says, "Okay, now you can spit fire."
Don't contain it.
Be as fiery as her red hair.
My red hair? I don't have red hair.
Lily's red hair.
Sorry. I got confused. We were talking about me, so naturally I assumed you just continued talking about me, and then you mishaired me, and so I thought I'm a little bit confused. Hey, that happened last night. She confused me with one of our guest player people, and I was like, how could you do that? I'm a bald white man. How could you possibly confuse me with Moss, who was a vivacious Black lady? So
yes, she was beautiful. She was strong and independent.
He was beautiful as her.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, because it's 2024, and a man can be a beautiful, strong, independent Black woman. So I did mistake that as Tabitha. Tabitha is not that. But for more context on this, so Tabitha played Demonologist with me, Sevvy, and Moss last night as her first scary game. Well, second scary game because she lost a bet to me a few weeks back. Another bet.
Yeah, another bet.
Yes.
Nomi was able to find 100 cats before
Tabitha, I'm starting to worry about you losing all these bets.
I need to step it up. Like, this is why my mom always said we don't gamble. So
yes,
exactly.
Yeah. But you can take a shot on us because we're here as friends and hanging out, and you won't lose anything. Maybe some sanity, but no.
Maybe some integrity if I let it fly too much. So
no, but we're thankful. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight.
Thank you for
Tabitha. Before we continue on our show, Mags will not be joining us tonight. She is out feeling sick, so we are sending positive vibes, healing vibes, and prayers to her as she gets over her little illness. So we love Mags, and she'll be out.
Don't belittle her illness. What if it's a big illness?
She just needs to take a little nap.
Well, maybe that's what
Tabitha's feeling spicy today.
But I don't want her to put it to the side. When we pray, we're supposed to be specific as possible. So what if we all start praying for her little problem and she gets no help whatsoever because it's in fact a big problem and God got confused?
Yeah, because I confused you last night.
All the time.
I do. But no, we want Mags
to pray for Mags' big problem because that's not how the internet works.
So with time, Mags will come back whenever
We
she
hope.
gets over her big illness. But we love her. We want the best for her, and she'll come back when she's feeling fresh and ready. But we're gonna go ahead and acknowledge the chat here. We have Retro Collective.
Dr. Rachel.
Oh my gosh. Hi, Dr.
What?
Rachel.
What I do?
Nomi.
I'm sorry. I just went over the moon and forgot about Rachel. I forgot to introduce you.
I'm no one of consequence. Don't mind me.
She's
I'll
only
be
just,
like
you
Yes,
know,
you
a
are.
big
You're
part of the
important.
I'll just be in the
show.
background.
I'm all,
Mm.
whatever, Dr. Rachel.
Just like kick me
You're
out. It's
recording.
fine.
No.
No.
We'll pray for you in little ways.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Might need
Yes.
a big way though. No.
Well, Tabitha's gonna get on that. She's got a big prayer for you. I don't know how big, but she's got one.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
I'll work
Appreciate it.
on that.
And I love that the stream is already starting chaotic with everything going on right now. But we are going to acknowledge the chat. Hi, Retro Collective. You are always a real one coming through in all the streams. Retro or Miss Rough Night. I wish I could watch tonight, but I'm supporting Epic Verse. Hey, that is something of importance. We do not blame you at all. But thank you so much for coming through and just saying hi to us. And
We
our
support them as well.
amazing. Yeah, support them as well. So we won't take it personal if you're gonna go over there and support us, but this is the better stream. But you know, they're cool. They're cool. They're cool. We like them. Then as always, our moderator, Smu the DJ. Hello, Smu. And then Risk It for Biscuits. Thank you so much for hanging out. And our favorite New Yorker, Dom H. And we got Shadow of Hawk hanging out. So hey, Shadow, glad to see you here. Gravy D, Risk It for Biscuits, and just trying to catch up with everybody being so active already. I am looking forward to everybody hanging out. And then we got Mando Unchained, who says, hello and happy birthday, Master Lily.
Sorry, I went off camera because I already got myself full of whipped cream.
Oh,
Somehow.
so chaotic.
Somehow. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. That's why I'm like, sorry, guys. I'm
It's
having
not a party till someone throws the whipped cream.
Exactly. I'm
It's
like,
not a party.
girl.
She got too excited.
They did.
She got too excited. But with it being excited, we got our drinks here in hand. We are toasting to Lily because she is to be celebrated today. So happy birthday, Lily. Woo!
Happy birthday, Lily.
Clink.
I'm
Oh,
I
like a
promise
pink
there's
star?
a drink in here. I spiked my punch, so
I love it. I love it. I love to hear it. So, oh my gosh. So all this talk about what's going on in the Star Wars world, and then we have our panelists here of experts. We got Lily, who's always on top of it, and then we got Dreaming Tabitha, who's also a fan of Star Wars. Hold on.
I like how she side skirted on top of it. I was willing to say lives around it, but she was like struggling for words. She also is a Star Wars fan. Like, make me sound like I just happened to watch Tales of the Jedi or something yesterday.
Or I don't know. Maybe you have, but
Not
we
like
are.
I haven't read the books of the EU, played the video games, the
You
computer
did play the video
games.
games, and that's why I'm like, no, she's a good contributor for Star Wars because she's playing the old school PC games.
That's right. PC, hush your mouth, okay? Pod racing is an N64, okay?
The other game that you're playing wasn't N64, unless it is. No, wait, it is.
And you don't even know. Why is she here?
That's why I have the experts here, Lily, to talk
We got
about.
the experts.
Yes, but I also have N64 pod racing too. But Lily, go ahead and
Dark
take
Forces
us
is a
in.
PC game.
Oh my gosh, Tabitha! See, that's why I knew it was a PC game. I was like,
Well, I'm
wow.
just tripping you up, that's all.
See, I can't. See, she's tripping me up, guys.
I did not trip her going down the stairs, but I'll trip
She's-
her up in the comments. Yeah.
So Matt, not in.
gosh,
She's gonna do it in real life. She's gonna do it online. Gosh, she is
I'm everywhere,
unstoppable.
all
But
at once. I am Michelle Yao.
she is that person. But Lily, let's go ahead and talk about this that happened earlier this week about Lucasfilms and Kathleen Kennedy.
I'm gonna try to keep this classy, but this made me very angry when I saw it yesterday. So basically, this article came out. This isn't the original article. I believe the original one was on New York Post or something like that, but it's behind a paywall,
Mhm.
of course. So
Cowards.
this is exactly. So this is a article that's basically saying Lucasfilm boss Kathleen Kennedy says a lot of women in Star Wars struggle with fan attacks because of the fan base being so male dominated. So I saw this yesterday and I was like, oh my gosh, she did not just say that. First of all, she's stupid because she just admitted that the Star Wars fan base is mostly male. Keep that in mind. And she's talking about, I guess, that any woman that comes into Star Wars that's like, what's her name? Daisy Ridley, all of these actresses, Leslie Headland, that now she's getting a bunch of pushback because she's a woman that's directing. I don't know what she's doing for The Acolyte. I'm not really too interested in that TV show at all. And then, so basically, sorry, I'm like, so bad. Okay.
Tell us how you really feel, Lily, because I know this is a very
You still
passionate
sound like
topic.
really
Like,
sweet
I don't
to
want to.
me.
I don't want to
Like,
cuss. I said that I was gonna keep it classy.
maybe if you
It's
stop
your
smiling,
birthday.
you sound more aggressive. Like,
So I put up a tweet actually yesterday talking about this because they're already blaming all of the male fans. This TV show hasn't even come out yet, and they're doing what they did prior to the Obi-Wan show coming out. That Reva was already getting a lot of pushback from all of the fans that are racist, and now all of a sudden all the male fans are having issues with all of the women in Star Wars, even though we've had Princess Leia, Queen Amidala, we've had even Jyn Erso was well received. So I don't know, maybe the correct thing to say is that maybe they're writing really crappy female characters that women just don't like.
I don't know. It's weird that, that happens and somehow they want to play the victim, right? But I read the article, and then it did make me a little peeve on that as well. It's just like, well, why are you putting yourself in there, and why are you mad about the backlash? I wouldn't even call it backlash. It's criticism, if anything.
But I love how she leaves out the female part of the fan base.
Mhm.
So we have no say in any of these characters either, because I haven't liked a lot of their female characters, how they're written. So I'm not male. So how come she's not acknowledging that part of the fan base though? It's just really weird to me.
Because she doesn't want to say the loud part, but she wants to make it quiet as possible.
Yep.
That's the problem, because she's not the problem. She is the problem, but she doesn't want to acknowledge it. She wants to be blind by it.
But it says, see, that's the thing. I had put up I found a super old tweet of mine as well that I had actually commented to something like this, and it was actually Chris Gore's tweet where he said that you trying to change the thing from one fan base to the other isn't going to work out for it. Mm-hmm. Which in this case, Star Wars, like she just admitted, is male dominated. So why are you trying to make it a female thing? And that's what I don't understand. It's like, I was already a fan of it before they tried doing all this stuff. So why not just keep it that way? You're going to get your female audience either way. This is just on purpose that she's pushing all of this stuff. It's like what happened with Barbie. They made the Barbie movie. Who was the breakout star? Ken. A lot of women didn't like that. They didn't like how that felt. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure that's how a lot of men feel with Star Wars. There was nothing wrong with it before. You didn't need to make it female. It was already great.
Yes. Why change something when it didn't need to be changed, but it still worked? And it kind of spat up in their face. Like exactly how you said it with Ken. Because with Barbie, I didn't expect to like Ken, because I thought they were just going to write him as a terrible character, but he ended up being a lovable character. And that's what they're doing here with Star Wars, when there was nothing to change in the first place.
Nope, there isn't. And Tabitha, I don't know, did you see this article yesterday?
I saw it today. Well, this first part of the interview, number one is that it does not actually, words can get twisted online and everything like that, of course. It doesn't say that here specifically that Kathleen Kennedy said, that the males are toxic and all these kinds of things. I will happen to agree with this statement in a general sense, where she said she's aware that women in the space franchise are often attacked online more than men because of the fan base being so male dominated. I would say that as far as percentage wise and without any emotional attachment to it, that is true, because Star Wars is more male dominated. I mean, that is just a fact, because well, I don't know why it is. It just is. Now, there is a huge part of the fan base that is female, but I also would be inclined to agree that women do get more of the harassment from this side, because a lot of the newer Star Wars female characters are badly written, and because of the fact that everybody is entitled to their opinion, but also because they feel that they are entitled to express their opinion whenever they want to, however they want to, that they do. I mean, you look at like the gal for Rose Tico that played Rose Tico and stuff like that. Man, everybody hated her, and she didn't even do anything wrong. It wasn't her fault that her character got just a blip of stardom, and then they decided to do weird things with her, and then we never heard from her ever again. Thank God for Drunk 3PO still keeping Rose alive. But but I also am very strongly opinionated on General Holdo in the in The Last Jedi. Everybody hates her for some reason. I cannot figure out why, because logically, and also coming from a background of military family, she did her job, and she did her job well. To heck and Hades with everybody that thinks that she was a douchebag, and I'm just being like spiteful, but everybody thinks that she was a douchebag and everything like this, and all these guys came out and be like, women this, and this is why women shouldn't be in charge, this is why women shouldn't be in the military, and she's such a biatch, and all these horrible names. But you know what? She did her job, and she did it well. Her job was to save the people, and Poe was the douchebag in this because he tried to supersede her authority given to her by General Leo Organa Solo. But everybody just kind of dismisses these facts. It was not his job to know the ins and outs of what the mission was. That was not his job. It was not his place. Yet he tried to overthrow and he tried to throw a mutiny on the ship to supersede her instructions given to her by somebody in authority. And so I say all of that to say is that, yeah, all the men came out of the woodworks, and I'm not saying they're toxic, but they came out of the woodworks harassing this woman in a place of authority because they didn't like how she treated the dude. So in that respect, I can understand in this article, it's one of these two double-edged swords. I can understand why a lot of these women in these places, with the articles and all this kind of stuff, get the feeling that they're being attacked by all these toxic men, because there are moments that happens. However, everything has gone to the extreme. Blaming everything on men is stupid, because these women are twisting and tainting Star Wars for sure. Blaming it on the, like Lily said, why aren't they asking the female people? Like, they're not asking people like Lily, they're not asking people like me, so what do you think of the new Star Wars? No, they're asking these people, well, that we know the certain flavor of people, that what are their thoughts on opinion? Oh, more girl power, diversity. And we're just like, man, we just want Cara Dune back. But
like, we want female characters that we actually like, that were well written.
Right. So I mean, like, that's my thing with this article, is just that the other thing is too, just because I've started understanding a little bit of the internet, is that I wonder if half of the stuff that Kathleen Kennedy has said, if she even said it.
I don't know. To that, I have no idea. But I feel like that was a good point with General Holdo, except that I can't actually defend any of these new characters that they've written. Like, they've just messed them all up.
I'm not saying that it was a great movie, but it's like, people are like, they're sometimes too emotionally responsive, because we have already decided we don't like. So with The Alkalite, this is true also in this article. People have already determined that they don't like it without having seen it, which is understandable because of the history, the current track record that Star Wars has, unfortunately, right now. But I get it. It's like you're wanting to create something and you're hoping that it sticks, even though you're all burned and everything like that. But it's like, it's true. We have already predetermined that we don't like this. And then when there is something that a character does that we don't really like, even if it's not wrong, if that makes sense. Like all these people come out of the woodworks and be like, she's a biatch. But I'll just drink my peach soda.
I mean,
No.
But I feel like we would be doing that if we got horrible male characters too. It's just that we haven't gotten a lot of male characters. That's
true, but I don't hear people complaining about Poe as much as they do the other people.
Because what was it in Ahsoka? When we finally got to see Thrawn, what was everybody saying about him?
He was
my gosh, he looks so old. He looks so fat. Why did
he
they
was
get
underwhelming?
him? Like he looks like this and that. We're gonna say things about
for sure.
Yeah,
and we totally should. I was so excited about Thrawn.
And we had Tamora Morrison, and he wasn't in the best shape yet. What was everyone saying? Oh my gosh, Boba Fett. Why is he in shape? This is the Boba Fett that we're getting. And when we got Pedro seen sometimes too, you got that guy to be the Mandalorian. That guy's not even cute. Blah blah blah. So no, like I think if we had more horrible male characters that are written bad, we would get just as much of it too. Like Ezra Bridger in Ahsoka too. I didn't like his character. I was like, what the heck?
He was a useless character. He really didn't add anything to the plot. I told my brother it should have been called Ahsoka and Friends.
Yeah, it's
Not
just that
Ahsoka.
Kathleen Kennedy is trying to push an agenda, and that's why she pushes that only the female characters get a lot of hate. No, Kathleen, I'm sorry, but all of your Star Wars characters right now kind of really freaking suck.
Yeah, I mean, that was like, I was super excited about Ahsoka. I really was, to be honest, even though we know that Star Wars has this track record, it was like there was something intriguing about it because I didn't really know much about Ahsoka except that she had been in the cartoons. And so a part of me really likes it, but a big part of me doesn't, because it's like, I only like it because I thought Rosario Dawson did a great job, but the story was so flat and so
underdelivered.
And it was just like, I feel like I'm right here. It's like, I really like this character, but like a lot of people I see are saying, like, they're badly written.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening?
Like, good casting. Rosario Dawson, I think she looked great as Ahsoka, but wasn't correct or created.
She wasn't elevated.
Correctly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And same for Rose Tico. I like the actress.
I thought she was cute.
Yeah. I like the actress, but they just didn't write her in a way that she would be, I guess, loved by the fans because she got a lot of hate. And that actress took it very personal. But it's not her fault. It was how it was created.
It's because they just, I don't know. Because, and like, with Rose Tico, I don't even like what they did with her, like, physically. The actress is so pretty, and they made her look so ugly. Why?
Well, don't you know that women that are mechanics have to be ugly?
Oh my gosh.
Don't you live in the real world, Lily?
I don't know, because according to Transformers, when Megan Fox was there, she was kind of a mechanic. And
okay, that was a different era. We don't talk about that.
I'm like,
that was Michael Bay. This wasn't George Lucas. This was Michael Bay. But even then, that George Lucas Star Wars wasn't even George. I know.
Wasn't even, George Lucas gave us the gold bikini Princess Leia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like, go back to the article, the one where she says that you're not a fan if you're a bigot or
I found it.
Her.
You can't make that statement. Like, you can believe that personally, but that doesn't make it true.
But then I love how she starts off that she says, as a fan myself, I know how frustrating some Star Wars storytelling in the past has been. You mean everything that you've greenlit?
I know. I kind of wish she was more specific about which one. Which one are we talking about?
Like, which one are we talking about? The ones that you've greenlit, that you've said yes to? Because those are the only ones that most of the people have issues with.
Right.
But yeah, I felt it myself. She said, I stand by my empathy for Star Wars fans, but I want to be clear. Anyone who engages in bigotry, racism, or hate speech, I don't consider a fan.
And
What qualifies as bigotry, racism, or hate speech?
I was just to ask.
Well, I can bring up the dictionary, but no. I mean, to be again, it's like I'm not trying to side with KK, but I can see where it's like I have seen this same kind of message, at least that last statement, on both sides of the schism. It's like you're not real, you're not a real Star Wars fan if you think that the current Star Wars is good. Well, if we're all entitled to our opinions, if we're all entitled to our preferences, then this is a false statement.
Yeah.
Do I agree with it? Of course, because I think that if you are on board with everything that they're doing with Star Wars right now, then in my personal opinion, I'm like, you're not really a fan. But, if we are true to what we say and believe, then it's kind of hard to negate people from the fandom because they like the current Disney Star Wars.
Yeah.
Which is trash.
I honestly don't care what side of Star Wars people like. I like what you like. I've always said that. But the thing is that this lady is just, it's not Star Wars anymore. Sorry.
I'm not even sure. Like, I don't, how some people... Like she says she's a Star Wars fan, and do you ever get like this vibe? Like there's nothing about her, right? There's never an article, there's never a photo that gives this aura or any kind of projection that she actually is. I only ever see her as basically this bigwig CEO moneybags kind of gal. I think she says that. My personal opinion is that she only says those things because she's in that field of work. But I never get the inference like that she's really cares about any movie franchise.
Me either. I honestly don't think she does. Like, not to not to say anything really nice about Dave Filoni, because now I have issues with him too, but at least he's always talking about Star Wars like a fan. Like, that he is a fan, even though he's contributing to ruining Star Wars. But yeah, you never get anything from Kathleen Kennedy where you can actually say like, no, she's a fan. She really cares about it. This is why she
never gives that air ever.
Never. She like, I don't know. To me, I think she just gets off on all the drama that she causes.
I don't even think she really cares about that. Like, I'm just saying, like, everything is like hollow. Does that make sense? Like, she's just saying words because she is the head person, and they're like, we need somebody that's in charge to be the face of this or to speak their mind or whatever the case is. And they're like, it would be better if it came from one of the higher ups. So let's just hire her. But I really think, in my opinion, that she's just the manager. Like, she is just the CEO. She's just a boss that they just decided to grab and make the face of this. But she really is just in it for money. Like business, like she's just a business gal. I really don't think that she has any wherewithal or any concern about any of the franchises. She just
not only that, I think she just wants her name in it. She wants her name to be seen so she can take credit of something that she kind of didn't do. So it's a lot of self-insertion. So she's not a fan. She's just like putting herself there, wanting her name in the credits when she doesn't know the lore. She doesn't know anything of the characters that were created beforehand. It's just narcissism what she's doing. And it's manager. Like, there's places, if you're in a workplace, bad managers, they are just taking the credit of all the little employees' work of what they've done.
Yeah.
And what is ironic though is because of all this whole diversity crap and whatever like that, and which I'm all for diversity. I love diversity, but like the push of it, we all understand. Like the forcing of diversity is that all of the stuff that Kathleen Kennedy does is self-insertion of a Caucasian female.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so why is it that like in the Dial of Destiny, why did it have to be a white woman?
That's right. That's
why couldn't it have been a little Asian gal?
Yes.
Why not?
Because it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. Yeah. It doesn't.
But I'm just saying, it's like, and people don't see that, which is weird. Because Kathleen Kennedy, that's why I'm saying I think she's just in her own zone and people just decided to make her the face of it. And so they're like, oh, well, since we made her the face of it, she's got to say a few words. So we'll just get her opinion on this, which she'd probably just be like, I don't know. I think people are toxic. And from what I've heard, people are toxic and they don't like the females. And it's important that we don't support that. I bet you that's literally what she does.
And I'll eliminate any female who has actually like a strong opinion.
It's probably like her side person, like her secretary, being like, I don't know, Travis, just tell them I said whatever.
I don't know, Tabitha, because everything that like we've heard from Gina, it sounds like it was personal with her and Kathleen. So
That's true.
I don't think Kathleen is that stupid to just she when she wants to, she makes moves that
that's true.
That she's gonna come in and do all of that. But you know how she didn't take credit for that one, and she didn't come out and say a statement and be like, I was the one that let her go or whatever. It's like some random person that took the fall for that she was no longer employed with Lucasfilm or whatever. How come she doesn't have anything to say about that? But then she comes out and attacks all of the male fans.
Because it was a dreary Tuesday and she was just feeling coy.
So that's why I'm like, I don't know. I want to believe, like you said, that a lot of these things she doesn't say. But at this point, I think she's enjoying being like the little villain right now because she's like, ooh, they're talking about me again because this is the only way that we're going to talk about you, Kathleen, because otherwise we don't care about you. Sorry.
It's very possible. I agree with Rachel. They just needed a face. And it's possible that when you let pride get in the way too, because she has been influential or been a part of many films. I had no idea just how many top films Kathleen Kennedy has been associated with. And so, like I said, I kind of get the vibe that she is a lot more business than she is pop culture and franchise. But then it's like that pride kind of gets you. It's like, oh, hey, I am the face of Star Wars. Really? I mean, she kind of is now. And so when somebody decides to uproot that and stir the waters, which case in point, like you were saying, Lily, with what Gina did, all of a sudden I wonder if like the spurs come, or the burrs, whatever they're called, the claws come out and they're like, nobody's going to take this away from me. So I don't know. It's hard to tell. It is hard to tell. I always kind of sometimes, I always kind of sometimes contradict myself that, it's hard to believe anymore what you read online. And I do like to give a little bit of a grain of salt to even these evil people that are destroying our franchises, because the internet is known to twist everything. I think Kathleen Kennedy could come out and say something good and like it would be twisted. Like
Probably.
I don't know. I don't just trust that KK because just the evil person that she is.
I don't trust her.
Well, like Lily was saying it earlier about Dave Filoni, because didn't Dave Filoni create Rebels? So he's a fan. And she just wanted whatever he's done, and he's not doing a good job, even though he's a contributor, but he's a fan of Star Wars.
Yeah, he took it to a whole other level though, where he's such a fan of Star Wars, and now basically this is his very own little fan fiction. But he's not trying to create in the world. He's created his own world. And that's a problem too. Because at first he was like, no, I know all the lore and I worked besides like George Lucas and I'm going to honor his legacy. And I don't think he's done that either, because look what happened with The Mandalorian. We started with Mando, and then season 3, all of a sudden,
Lizzo.
It wasn't The Mandalorian, guys. Anyone could be The Mandalorian, because they were setting up Bo-Katan to be The Mandalorian going forward. Which I want them to try that. Make her the Mandalorian, put out the movie with her as the Mandalorian, and watch what it does.
Yeah.
FAFO.
We'll take.
Yes.
But yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, continuing on with we're still talking about George Lucas and the legacy and stuff, what he has created. We're gonna continue on with the Star Wars talks, because George Lucas had some things to say about what's currently happening in the world of Disney Star Wars that, sort of got lost, which is true, which is what we're talking about, because Dave Filoni got lost in his own little world because Disney does not know what they're doing.
The quote I like about this one is way, way at the bottom. where he talks about he has come out and said some things before. Ooh, Ryan Gosling. He has come out and said some things before about it, but like I love how he just subtly kind of throws things out there and kind of tells you how he feels about what's happening right now. And like here, he said, I was the one who really knew what Star Wars was, who actually knew the world, because there's a lot to it. The Force, for example, nobody understood the Force, he said. When they started other ones after I sold the company, a lot of the ideas that were in the original sort of got lost, but that's the way it is. You give it up, you give it up. So he's kind of saying how he feels there without having to really say how he feels.
It's pretty masterful, yeah.
Yeah, which is that he doesn't like anything that's coming out right now, because they did lose everything about Star Wars, like the Forces. Oh my gosh, I don't even want to get started with all of the things that they've done. They've messed up with the Forces multiple times. All of the new things that are coming out, especially with how no one's dying from a lightsaber blade stabbing anymore.
That kills me. Well, metaphorically, every time I see that.
Yes. Like Qui-Gon would like to have a word.
You ever seen those reels on Instagram where the guy's impersonating Qui-Gon Jinn and he's like in the afterlife eating popcorn and he's watching his own death, or he's watching what was it, Obi-Wan, the series, and all of a sudden he's like, wait a minute. And he's like, she's gone for good now, and Obi-Wan's like, and then she gets, she lives, and he's like, hang on a second now. What they can survive lightsabers now? And he's like, yeah, it's kind of been a thing for a little while. He's like, when did that happen? He's like, about an hour after you got killed.
Yeah.
You deserve better.
The thing that happens now. And then in the Acolyte trailer too, like, I'm sorry, I know, Tabitha, we should give things a chance, and I shouldn't just say that I hate things outright, but everything in this trailer just made me want to vomit. When they showed the little clip of the lightsaber whip.
Oh.
Yeah, that was dumb as heck.
Yeah.
I was just like,
I don't want to. Dr. Rachel, you got any words? I feel like I could fill a space. But I don't want to. I have my 2 cents worth on the Acolyte too. So
No, it's all good. I'm not a big Star Wars fan, never really have been.
Why is she here? Who invited her?
I don't know. I was told to just come in and sit pretty, but
you're doing a great job. By the way.
Thank you. But no, I'm just like slowly going through. I like the original trilogy. I didn't really like the prequels, and then just got worse and worse over time. Didn't really watch any of the TV shows. I'm going through and playing Lego Star Wars with Jed. But that's fun.
Those are hilarious.
And he had to do a show about Clone Wars animated, both of them. So we've been going through that, and that's been really interesting going through those. So that's my Star Wars knowledge. Very, very little.
Aww,
but I just think it's from the psychology, like we were all talking about what the heck KK is doing, and how they're just kind of like putting her up as the face. It's kind of like you have the dartboard, your stuff sucks, fans are going to be throwing darts at it. You don't want your face up on it. So you put KK's face up on it. She can take all the brunt of it. And that's probably why they're keeping her around. It's like, well, we don't want to be targeted. We'll let her get targeted. And so then we can just stay in the back and keep writing crap and all that. But I also put something in the chat, like how Disney and these other companies making movies right now, trying to like get sympathy for villains, right? Like the last few, maybe decade or so of movies, it's like, well, look at it from the villain's perspective. They're not really a villain. They're just like, they grew up poor, or they were bullied, or like they had a sad life. And so, it's not really their fault that they just tried to kill the hero's family, that kind of thing. And so I feel like they're very much going to try to do this for KK once she takes too much heat. She's like, oh, well, I'm just a girl in the Star Wars universe trying to look out for the other girls who are fans. And they're absolutely going to pull that card if they haven't started to already, and just try to get the Cruella. Oh God, there's just so much of that. They're just make villains be villains, you know, like all the people contributing to bad writing, bad characters. You know, put all the blame on all of them. Don't just focus on one person, because it's definitely not just one person. Get everybody's name out in there. It's just a lot of people that need to take responsibility and just like what we're all saying here, just write good characters. Stop trying to do self-inserts and messaging. Just stick to good storytelling. Characters who are diverse because they have good morals. They're not diverse because of their skin color or their gender. They're diverse in their actions. They're diverse in their thoughts. They're diverse in their values and belief systems, because that can be relatable to anybody. That can be representative of anybody.
Go get it, girl. Yeah.
Sorry, I got a lot of thoughts on this.
No, that was
kind of like connects
beautiful.
together.
I would just love to add to something Rachel said, if I may, please.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Conspiracy theory time. Because
oh, I don't have my hat. Dang it.
You gotta get a hat.
Okay. Is that a thing here?
No, just like we love our little like conspiracy theories and stuff.
Okay.
So just like
what if I'm starting to really like get on board with what Dr. Rachel is saying. Like, what if Kathleen Kennedy is the figurehead and that they're all throwing the darts at Kennedy? Theoretically, it's a bunch of corporate dudes. It's a bunch of corporate dudes who are using her as target practice to instill all this diversity and homophobia and gender equality and all this kind of stuff. And then, like Rachel's saying, so that when it all falls apart, they can point, like bring it in. It's like, well, you really did attack a woman and you did all this. And it's like, well, they can do, because there's something to be said about, and I'm not trying to, there's something to be said about putting a woman on the stake so that other people can do what they want to, but they put somebody out front so that they can do all the schemings behind. And meanwhile, she could be Bernie for all we know. We get into she might not even really be with us. But I'm just kind of wondering, it's like, I wonder if they're specific, and I do specifically say males, not because I'm against males, but when you're not a good person, it doesn't matter if you're a male or a female, but when you're not a good person, you use people in terrible ways. And that she might be thinking that she is something pretty special, which she kind of is in her position, but with her credentials and stuff like that. But what if she's not really the one in charge, but she's the figurehead, and she might think that she is in charge, but they're just using her as the full brunt to take off.
I believe it.
I'd like to believe that, except that I think we give women too much of a pass these days.
Very true.
And I think that if it was really a bunch of evil men behind this and they're putting Kathleen Kennedy out in the front, then I don't know, you're kind of just proving what everyone is still saying, that men are bad. And I don't think that. I don't think that at all.
No, I don't think that men are bad. I think that I hope I'm not coming across badly, like, or misinterpreted. It's like, I'm not trying to say that all men are bad or that men are inherently bad or whatever like that. It's just that I think, like, you can kind of, like I said, kind of see it through history and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong. I was talking before the show started that women have had their place in history too, of doing very evil things and changing the world in doing so. But it's just like, I don't believe that she is the only person in power doing this. I cannot believe that one person is in control of this entire ginormous multi-billion-dollar franchise or company, I should say. I've got I don't have any proof. This is all, I guess, all tinfoil hat kind of stuff. But I'm like, I feel like there's a bigger picture of some kind of seedy underbelly that we are not seeing because we're so busy throwing darts at Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah, I'll say it's probably just a mixture of bad people. It doesn't even matter if they're men or women.
When they ruin Star Wars, they're always bad.
It's just bad people. So yeah, I mean, it could be a possibility that she must be getting paid a bunch of money for that, because I wouldn't want my name out there smeared into the ground everywhere because I ruined a huge IP for people. Like I wouldn't do that. So
But you're a person of integrity, I assume. We've never met, but I would say you're a person of integrity and that you have a different value system. You know, this thing about money and having your name in lights corrupts people, as we see all the time. And I just wonder if she's like, you know what? I don't care what they say about me. I've got 6 yachts. I own a cabin on the top of Mount Rushmore, and I can vacation to Venice whenever I want to, not realizing that those little seedy underbelly people are ready to throw her to the dogs whenever there's a piece that falls into place.
Or maybe it all kind of comes together with what you said, that she's not actually a fan, and that's why she doesn't care that people talk bad about her in regard to Star Wars.
I really think that's what it is, though. I really think she's just not a fan, and they're just like, can you say a couple of things about Star Wars? Yeah, sure, whatever. Whatever. She probably thinks Star Wars is stupid and for children.
Because, like, okay, I can kind of see that, because if they made me, like, the head of, I don't know, some other IP that I didn't care about, and I'd be like, whatever.
So it's a very real possibility, you know?
Yeah. And that's interesting that you said that, because in the next article that we're going to get into with George Lucas defending his original trilogy, he mentions, and he does go back to say that he didn't intentionally make it for children, which is a big argument that we see in this franchise. I personally think that maybe it started off not being geared too much towards kids, but towards the end of the original trilogy, it went that way. And I say that because a lot of people hate the Ewoks. And that was actually that was actually why I got into Star Wars in the first place, because I remember my brother was a huge fan, and he would play me Return of the Jedi all the time to get me to shut up, because it had Chewbacca, he's furry. Yeah. It had all the little Ewoks, they're all furry. And Darth Vader. I love Darth Vader.
He's not furry.
Not furry, but I don't know what it was. I was like, whoa, who's that? He's cool.
Yeah.
And so, because if you really watch like the original Star Wars movie, I don't think it gives me like kids. It gives me like maybe a little bit older, like maybe 10 to teenage years, but then it kind of gets progressively to like more little kid kind of things. And then what he did with the Phantom Menace with Jar Jar Binks.
I love Jar Jar.
So I think he's trying to like make a big old mesh of like it's gonna appeal to everyone.
But you remember though, like back in the 70s and the 80s, what was deemed for children is very different than what is deemed for children now. You know, like if you, for real, like we people talk about all the time, like Never Ending Story, like traumatic, but it's for children. You know. So I kind of just wonder, you know, when they say it was for children, it's like it's almost like it was for teenagers and young adults now versus like, you know, that's a pretty typical children's movie. Maybe, I don't know, it's hard to tell. Kids today are different than when I was growing up. Like when I used to watch kids at a school, they were talking about how they like these 8-year-olds being like, man, I was watching Saw with my mom and dad the other night during family night. I'm like, you got problems? Are you in therapy? Like,
these kids nowadays would not last an hour in the asylum that I grew up on. Yeah. Land Before Time, The Last Unicorn,
Old Yeller.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, because today's Star Wars is just soap opera, lame soap operas. Mm-hmm. So they're not even entertaining. But like, there was one little quote down here, because the one thing that George Lucas did say is that here we are. He went to say that in the Star Wars universe, the only ones who were discriminated were the robots. And I agree.
Right. It's true, because we don't serve their kind here. It's in the first one.
Go a little bit before that.
Oh,
there's a lot to the Right there.
It's all white men.
Yeah, that paragraph.
Yes. They would say it's all white men. Lucas said of the film's critics, most of the people are aliens. The idea is you're supposed to accept people for what they are, whether they're big or furry or whether they're green or whatever. The idea is all people are equal. Huh. That's so strange. Who would imagine to live in a peaceful world like we're all seen as equal because we all have the same bone density? Maybe if you're not sick or not, but we have the same. We have blood.
Nomi's point crumbles apart like some people's density. Sorry, that was really inappropriate dark humor. Sorry,
but it's okay. But you know, when archaeologists from like 3,000 years from now are gonna dig up the ground, they're gonna still see like this skeleton was a male, this person was a female. Mm-hmm. So we're all equal. We're all human, but there's also aliens as well.
Yeah.
Well, I
think go a little bit lower too. He adds that he's like, it's already happening now. People are discriminating against AI.
Yes, right here.
That there's always going to be something that people are discriminating against, and now it just so happens to be AI because that's what.
Well, because we've taken discrimination and we've basically molded it to mean to be associated only with one thing, like people of color, all this kind of stuff. Like a discrimination can only be right now whenever it's a buzzword. When you say this word, it is associated with one kind of meaning. It's kind of like now, like when you see the rainbow, it's been now molded to fit only one kind of idea associated with the certain group of people in the community. And so when, this is like when you don't know the meaning of words and you don't use them beyond this box that they've put them into, it's like, yeah, like what he's saying, it's like discrimination happens all the time. And then there's with the AI and with the droids, it's not just one set of people. And exactly, it loses its meaning.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we have, going back to like the AI thing, how many movies do we have where Terminator, we have iRobot, we have the one that just came out with J-Lo, Atlas. There's a bunch of these kinds of movies that are already kind of telling us that, Blade Runner, that they're going to create androids that even though we're the ones creating them to be like a reflection of us, we're still going to see them as lower than us because they're AI. They're not human. So he's not wrong.
I mean, and the thing is, it's that like with prejudice and racism, people refuse to, I don't know why this is such a hard concept. People refuse to believe that there will always be bad people. Like, I would say confidently that none of us ladies here are racist or have prejudice against certain people because of their hair type, skin color, eye color, whatever like that. But the truth of the matter is that there are some douchebags out there that will always care what color your skin is. And you can't change that. You can make laws and whatever, but that's the whole thing about the freedom of the mind and thought, is that you can't police people's thoughts. No matter how you try, you can't. People are going to feel free to think however they want to, and you know what? They can, and that's what they can do. And in a way, it's okay. The difference is that when you act on your thoughts, it's kind of like the scary thing about like Minority Report. Those people were being policed and they were being arrested because of the thoughts that they had before they took action, which is not right, because you can change your thoughts all the time. So if you have a bad thought towards a person who looks differently than you know what? Do I agree with that? Of course not. But that's none of my business. I cannot control that. However, if you treat somebody differently, if you attack them, or if you steal opportunities from them or give them to other people just because you don't like the way that they look, that is when it has taken a turn for the worst, because your actions are now reflecting your thoughts. Like something is happening and affecting other people. And so like you can discriminate, but don't hurt people. It's like the difference.
Yeah. it's just it's a trick. It's hard when that kind of conversation comes up, when you're just like, why can't we just get along? You and I have opposing views. We don't even see eye to eye with each other, but people don't have respect for each other anymore. That's the thing. That's
no common decency.
No common decency, no care for others at all, because it's all just a little dog. It almost comes off as a dog eat dog world in this culture. And it's also what Lucas says here about the criticism, the description of women in Star Wars films. Like, who do you think the heroes are in the stories? What do you think Princess Leia was? She was the head of the rebellion. Yeah, she's the one that's taking this young kid who doesn't know anything, and this boisterous, I know everything guy can do everything, and trying to save the rebellion with these clowns. It's the same thing with the Queen Amidala. Yeah, like, it's just
a 14-year-old girl saved her entire planet. That's pretty powerful stuff.
It is pretty powerful stuff, but we can only dream and wish for like a better Star Wars in this.
Right. That's why it's so dumb. That's why I'm like, why are you trying to make all these cringy female characters when you already had really great characters? Like, I freaking love Princess Leia.
Oh yes,
she was awesome. She was
the main reasons I love Star Wars.
She was a princess, but she was also like in charge, and she was the head of the rebellion. Like, hello, she got things done, and at the same time, she fell in love. And that's what I loved about all of these movies, is that she allowed herself to fall in love.
And I think that might be the problem that a lot of people in today's society have with Princess Leia, because if you think about it, she ticks a lot of the boxes of today's female perspective, in that she was a girl boss and she took charge and she told the men what she thought. She wasn't going to let no man tell her what to do, which is true. Princess Leia was a sassy little girl or young woman who got things done. But her falling in love with Han Solo, of all people, took her to that whole vulnerable human aspect of the feminine that softened her a little bit, where she was still no nonsense, and she needed to get the job done, and she was a hard worker, but she was still vulnerable to a man's love. And I think that's why people have a problem with Princess Leia. It's like, I don't understand. Like, she was a kick butt, don't take trash off a dude's kind of gal. Oh, but she fell in love with a rogue.
We can't have that. We can't have real romance.
She was this close to being perfect.
Because
that's what I think makes her perfect. That's why I love her, because she shows you can have everything. You don't have to just either have the career like some people think, or choose having a family like some people think. You can have both. Why not?
She's like the perfect woman, and she was a princess, and she was a general,
and modern feminism,
and she was brunette. No offense, Rachel.
Yeah, and modern feminism ruined everything, because we don't need a man to like make us weak in the knees, because we can handle it. We got it locked down, guys. Like, no, I really want someone to like bring me to that vulnerability. Yeah, I want someone to make me vulnerable. Like, oh, you're stepping up to the plate because I am strong. I am taking charge. Oh, you can help me lead together. Okay, say less. I'm in.
Equality? You mean real equality?
What? No way.
Get that trash out of here.
And speaking of another girl boss,
I know, which is perfect transition, because this
that way.
Because going in from this past weekend was Furiosa. Oh my gosh. Sorry about that ad, everybody. But yes, it bombed in the lowest grossing Memorial Day weekend in decades. Because we don't want girl bosses, guys.
And the crazy thing is that she's not a girl boss.
I know.
I haven't seen it. I actually like Anya Taylor-Joy, but I don't know. I just wasn't excited to go watch it, so I haven't. I don't think I'm going to. I'm just gonna wait for it on streaming.
I wasn't a huge fan of the previous one, so
yeah, I wasn't a fan of that one either, because there's no Mad Max in a Mad Max movie.
I've never seen the originals, but
I've seen the first one of the originals. I still have to watch all the other ones, but I did watch Fury Road, and I mean, it's not a bad movie. It's just not a Mad Max movie. Because Tom Hardy said like one word the entire time. And freaking Charlize Theron was like the main character in the entire thing. So,
Yeah. And they just used Tom Hardy's face to promote the heck out of it.
yeah, exactly. And then this one, I mean, I saw a lot of people's reviews about it, and they said they really enjoyed it. It's just not a Mad Max movie, and that's what people want. So,
Well, for what the other critics that I was watching, and when I was doing my homework and stuff like that, because I hadn't seen the movie, they were saying it's actually a decent, fun movie. It's not groundbreaking, but it's fun. But the problem is that we're all burnt. There's two reasons. We're all burnt out from movies, like from being disappointed, right? And the second thing is that it's so freaking expensive to go to the movies. So if we are going to go to the movies, you sure as heck know it's going to be for a movie we really want to see. Because, I mean, you're going to be spending like $30 if you want to get popcorn and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, to go see a movie that you have general interest in and lately that's only going to come to streaming in 2 weeks, I'll just spend my $3.99 at home, thank you, and just watch it from the comfort of my couch.
the bad thing is, though, that on the other side of the argument, I agree with you 100%. I'm not just going to go watch a movie that I'm not really that interested in. But I've been seeing a lot of people that are saying that every single movie that we've gotten this year is just mediocre. Mm-hmm. They're mid. They're nothing special. And I'm like, what is good enough for you people then? Like, we're going way, way too far with this now, where people are just refusing to see any movie. That's why I got really upset when The Fall Guy bombed, because I saw it and it was a good movie. A lot of people that I talked to about it generally liked it. They liked it on Twitter. Mm-hmm. A lot of people were talking about it, and it freaking bombed. And the same thing happened to this movie too. I think this one, it was also because of the way that they were, promoting it, that this was going to be another girl boss.
It did give girl boss vibes. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. We were all burnt on so many different aspects.
Had another issue with it too, but I mean, I'm saying, what is good enough for you people then? Like, we can't have a blockbuster every single month. That's just not.
Holla at your boys. Thank you. Somebody had to say it.
I'm like, that's not gonna freaking happen. Like, we had Dune 2 already. Yeah. That one did really, really well.
We've got Deadpool and Wolverine coming up, and people are going to flock to see that. Even if it's a terrible movie, people are going to go see it.
Well, and it's what you were. Oh, go ahead, Lily.
I was just going to say, even then, I think that people are going to go see Joker 2 also, even though people are saying that one's kind of like, what the hell's going on, because it's a musical. I think people are going to go see that too, but like, we can't have every single movie be a blockbuster movie. So what is good enough for you people? You're going to refuse to see anything until it's absolutely like perfection, which we're never going to get, because not even Dune 2 was perfect. So I don't understand. I really don't get people anymore.
I do think, and I'm just gonna say it, I do think that a lot of people rely too much on what the critics say instead of just going to experience themselves.
Yeah. Well, it was what you were saying earlier, Tabitha. It's just like, I'll just spend my $3.99 and I'll just stream it at home.
Yeah.
The reason why people are not flocking to the movies, because I think for Furiosa it was bad marketing, because they made it into a girl boss when it really wasn't it wasn't supposed to be a girl boss movie.
Yeah.
And if the last time I went to a movie where I'm going to go all out, buy the popcorn, the drink, the nachos, the hot dog, one it was actually with Lily, but like where I got really excited, where I bought the tickets in advance, was all the MCU movies before Endgame. I was excited because it was a blockbuster hit, because I was looking forward to those blockbuster hits. But I'm okay with like going to see something like Fall Guy, or even if Furiosa. Like, it doesn't have to be a blockbuster hit, because nowadays everything's expensive.
Yeah.
So if it's an investment. So I mean, if I'm going to go see the movie, I'm going to have to invest my money into that, not only to the theater, to the film that I'm going to go see, but to the concessions that I'm going to buy as well. So I do need, if I'm going to go to the movies, I want it to be a good movie. I don't want it to be a flop. Like, I don't know, what was the recent flop where just awful. I'm not going to go spend my money for something that I'm not going to enjoy. Oh, I went to go see Tarot. I didn't like it. I hated it. I hated Tarot so much. It was awful. It was so, and the ending was terrible. And I invested a little bit. I bought a soda because I snuck in a pizza.
You still haven't told me how you did that. We will talk later.
We'll talk later, but like still, like I still spent money to see a terrible movie, and I'm not going to get my time back. I'm not going to get my money back. So it's just terrible. So with like things like this, like sell it to me.
Yeah.
It's not, you're not doing a good job, because if it's a girl boss, hey, guess what? I'm kind of burnt out on girl boss right now.
Well, not only that, trailers are so bad about revealing too much of the movie. And it's like, okay, well, I already know what happens. Why would I spend the money to go see it in the theater when the trailer already pretty much left no mystery as to what happens?
Yeah, they're messing. I don't know. It's because they're messing everything up from every single angle. Like, I don't think Furiosa even had a chance because of the way they marketed it.
Plus, I don't know about you guys, but like the CGI just from the trailers alone, I'm like, okay, is it 2001 again? What is happening? This looks bad.
Yeah, they did use a little bit too much of it. I don't know. It's because the story just didn't interest me. Like I said, I liked Fury Road, but like I didn't care to know more about Furiosa. So now that they made her a prequel, I was like, I kind of don't care. So even if it's a good movie, I'll wait for it on streaming, which it'll be out like in 2 weeks. And streaming has made it a big old problem for everybody too, because like you guys are saying, I'm just going to wait for it. It'll be there in 2 weeks. Why am I going to waste my money, gas, and all of these other things? And you can invite a bunch of your family and friends over. And you can all watch it. Just make
movie night.
Buy snacks. Yeah, exactly. So why wouldn't people do that? And I don't know where I heard it, but like somebody was talking about how, they took that that fear of missing out element out of it. Because before, remember when if you didn't see a movie in theaters, you would have to wait almost a year to watch it, because you have to go like rent it.
You had to wait for it to DVD or whatever.
Yes. If you missed out, that was it. And all of your friends were talking about it, and you were like, dang it, I missed it.
And that's why the theaters were flooded.
Yes. And now you're just like, it'll be on streaming. I'll watch it later. I'll catch it later.
We have so many outlets now. I mean, the expense, and then so many other outlets that we could just wait for. It's like when they released Mulan, right? And that was back when they were charging you to rent on Disney Plus. I don't know if they still do that. I think they stopped doing that, because it was like $30 to rent the movie when they were going to release it in 4 weeks for free with your subscription. So like, I'm not paying $30 for one ticket at the movies. Like $30 is like some popcorn, a pizza, like a water bottle, and my ticket, like some stuff to sit in and do it. I'm not going to spend $30 to watch this movie when I could just wait and watch it in 4 weeks.
Yeah, so I can just heat up my oven with a DiGiorno pizza and then just go down the gas station and get a drink.
It's DiGiorno.
Yeah. So
watch out, everyone. Watch out.
So yeah, that was crazy. When I saw that Furiosa flopped, I was like, dang, like Hollywood is learning their lesson so bad.
But it's like
they're not learning their lesson, because after this bombed, Kathleen came out and already started that the male fans are to blame if the Acolyte bombs. That's what they're setting up. They're going to start blaming people, of course. After this, like they're not learning. You would figure that after failure, they would learn.
And that's the one thing that I cannot quite understand. And I have to just look at this. I have to. There's no logical sense to it. I have to look at it from a spiritual aspect of pride, because it's like the whole purpose of a business is to generate money, right? So if your business, if what you are producing is not generating money, then you switch gears and figure out what it is. The stats are all there. Disney is losing money by the billions. At the same time, they're still generating plenty of income, but it's a business that is losing money. So and there's no logical sense. There's no logical sense to continue producing things that people don't want. So it's like, what is the purpose behind all of this? And that's why I'm befuddled, and I just have to look at it and say, it's got to be pride that they just refuse to bend the knee because they just want to do it their way, almost like a temper tantrum, like a child, which doesn't make sense to me because business people don't really care. A lot of business people don't really care what they sell as long as it makes them money.
Yeah.
So I just don't understand this mindset behind Disney.
Yeah.
Because they go ahead, Lidley. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think Alasia has the point over here with what she just did in the chat.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
How are all these movies so expensive? I don't understand.
And they keep doing it.
This one didn't cost that much money, and look at how awesome it looked. I don't get it.
I remember like going to movie theaters like after it was premiered in theaters for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, and then going to the 50-cent movie theater. It was still generating money, even though it was 50 cents to watch it.
You guys remember when matinees were like $7.50?
Yes.
Can we have a moment of silence?
Yes. And then not only that, I will give the moment of silence in a second, but not only that, we have the convenience of online. We can just go online and buy the tickets. We see the seat and just reserve them, or reserve them and buy the seats. Back then, you had to go to that theater. Yeah, get there early and buy the row that you want to be in, and make sure you have the amount of tickets that you're going to go with your crew. But we don't have that anymore because
I miss Midnight Madness, like the excitement, the rush of getting to the movie theater early, standing in line, even though it was annoying, but you met other people that were just as excited as you were, and then you rushed to find your seat, and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't remember the last time I had a feeling like that. And I've even seen movies like Avatar 2 and everything like that, The Way of Water, and several others that I really wanted to see and was looking forward to it. But the last time I had that kind of a hype was for The Force Awakens, because I did not know that they had changed it to viewing on Thursdays at 10 o'clock instead of like Friday at 12 a.m. And so my brother and I are like waiting in line, and we're like, where is everybody? I mean, the movie starts, in like 45 minutes. Why is there no line for Midnight Madness? And they had already it's kind of like Black Friday. They already had Midnight Madness. It was just 2 hours earlier. And so it's like, oh, we're not doing that anymore, apparently.
Oh, we're that's not cool anymore. Okay, I guess.
Yeah, nobody told me.
I think I messed up a lot of stuff too. I like the convenience of being able to choose your tickets beforehand, but that takes a lot of the fun out of it.
Exactly.
The first time that I ever watched all of the Lord of the Rings movies, I remember waiting in line and like nerding out with all of the other people that were in the line too. Because when we went to go watch the marathon that they had for it the very first time, I remember we had to wait hours. It started at 11 in the morning, and I think we were there at like 7 in the morning to get our seats. And I remember that we all had like things that we had taken. Some people were reading the books. Other people were like playing games. We were all just having fun talking to each other. And we don't have that anymore. And that kind of sucks. Like, we're not interacting with other fans. And that's what made it so much fun. That you would have all of these like little nerd talks with each other, and you would get upset at each other because of, like somebody thought one thing and somebody else thought another thing. And it wasn't all this stupid fighting that we have now. Like, it was actually fun. So yeah, that kind of messed it up. Like, I
think some of that. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I like the convenience, but I kind of miss all the other interaction.
For sure.
Okay, because like when this was still popular, because I never read the Harry Potter books, but when the movies were coming out, that's when you still had to go in advance, buy the tickets so you can sit with your group. A friend of mine extended the invite. Is like, all right, I don't know anything. I've never read the books. I've seen one of the movies, but I think I got the general concept of Harry Potter. I went not knowing anything of the Harry Potter fandom. I was given a wand. I was given a robe, and they accepted me, and they were telling me everything about what they knew because they were passionate about it. It's like me, an outsider, and they're like, so Voldemort is the really bad guy that we all hate. I was like, okay, cool.
He's the no-nose guy.
Yeah, I was just like, okay, I think I know that name, but I know there's a guy who was like an orphan, and his aunt and uncle didn't like him for some reason. Like, yeah, that's Harry Potter. Like, oh, okay, that makes more sense to me. But it was that excitement because we don't interact anymore. What Lily was saying, because like gone are the days of people getting together and just trying to inform people of what they're passionate about of a book. We don't have that, and we don't have that blockbuster. And yes, Harry Potter back in the day, they were blockbuster hits because they knew it back then. It was going to bring the people who grew up reading the books. I wasn't the ones who grew up reading the books. I grew up reading Chronicles of Narnia, and I went to go see some of the movies. Yes, back in the day when the movies were coming out, I wasn't a fan of it because they left a lot of the book out, and that's just me. But I was able to be excited with the people who I was going to see the movie with, and we don't have that anymore because we have the internet. And I like the internet. It's given me opportunities to meet lovely people like you.
There's always, whenever, I've said this all the time, whenever society advances, we lose something. And so the blessing of technology and the blessing of the internet and all of that kind of stuff, the sacrifice that we made is in-person social interaction. And I think that if we had more interaction where we're standing in lines, talking with people about what we do and do not like about the films and how things are done, peaceful like that, because, you know, when you're actually with people, you are less hesitant to speak your mind fully, right? Because you want to feel somebody out. Like, am I comfortable enough with this person to say what's really on my mind? Are they going to respond okay? You know, it's just normal human behavior and interaction. And since we have taken that away, and the only way that we can, a lot of us, interact anymore is online, you take away that sense of that boundary, right? That border where it's like, let me feel this out before I say something, you know, provocative or whatever to see. Now it's just like, I'm just going to say what I want because there's no consequences, because there's no in-person reaction. And I do miss that. And I think that's just one tick of the downfall of society.
Yeah.
And Dr. Rachel, did you have any experiences of a movie that you were excited? I'm going to say maybe Lord of the Rings, where you're just super stoked. Like, yeah, I'm going to go and get my tickets now.
Yeah. Oh God, there's been a few. Like, I remember as a kid, I was a big Pokemon fan.
Yeah.
Love
Let's
Pokemon.
go.
So the Pokemon 2000 movie, there was so much hype for that. I remember I was probably like, God, that was 2000. So I was, I guess, like 9 or 10 at the time, dating myself a little bit. But yeah, no, it was like perfect age for it. Like, everyone was lining up at the theaters. People had their books of Pokemon cards and were like showing each other, trading while waiting in line. We had our Game Boys like playing. So there were things to do. You had that social connection. You got to meet so many people who had this like same love for a franchise and love of characters. Even like those nerd fights that you all talked about before. It's like, they're not real fights, right? They're disagreements, but you both, like, all sides of the argument know the lore. They're respectful. They have arguments. They like actually have logic behind them. It's really interesting. It's a discussion rather than like, oh no, well, you're just a butthead because you don't like this thing, or you're just a bigot or a racist because you don't like the new thing. It's stupid fights. But no, I remember big hype when I was a kid for Pokemon. Obviously, a lot of hype for Lord of the Rings when they were coming out. Harry Potter, definitely. I remember the lines at bookstores for going for midnight releases of 6 and 7, and definitely the last 3 movies. I remember big lines, just going there several hours beforehand, waiting in line, getting the books with you, talking with people, seeing who's dressed up and who isn't. Even in the theater itself, like, you don't really get this much anymore, but when you're actually in the theater watching the movie, when there's a certain scene that happens, everyone just like shouts and screams and like they're having a good time. Like the last Harry Potter movie, excuse my language, but when Molly Weasley steps in, it's like, not my daughter, you bitch. Everybody stood up and was cheering for her and clapping. It was great. Like, everyone's so invested in it, and you just don't really see that anymore.
Last time I saw that was the Phantom Menace, when I just saw it like a couple of weeks ago. Like, at the end of the movie, everybody clapped.
Nice.
because it was part of our childhood.
It was part of our
Mhm.
child. And then I think, well, it's coming back around where they're now releasing Lord of the Rings into theaters where you kind of get to relive it, how you relived Phantom Menace. I wish I was able to.
And the Mummy.
And the Mummy, see, like, I will invest in that because, like, that was what I grew up on. That's what made me happy and excited to go to the theater. It's like, yay, the Mummy, Brendan Fraser.
I have a sneaky suspicion that Hollywood's going to start doing that, where they were having this new way of going about things, where it's like, oh, we're doing remakes, right? And then we're doing prequels or sequels to movies. Now it's like, because nobody's going to the theater, now it's re-releasing.
Yep. It's gotten so bad that they can't even like make an excuse to like make a sequel or prequel or remake anymore. It's just, you know what? Our stuff, it's like we acknowledge our stuff is so bad that we're just going to re-release movies you've already seen. Yeah.
Oh, but in the Phantom Menace, they were very sneaky because it was like, after the movie, wait for our preview of the Acolyte.
I saw that.
Which is not
and then
bad
everyone's gone.
publicity, or it's not a bad commercial for it, but because obviously it's Star Wars related. But at the same time, like, yeah, I think when I was in there, I think like 6 people stayed.
I didn't say.
Yeah. See, if that was me, I would have like gone up and got my empty pizza box and like walked out. It's like, no, I'm good.
No. I looked over at my niece and she's like, let's go. I don't care. I'm like, all right. I'm like, good answer. Let's go.
Yeah. But I'm if anything, I'm happy and excited for Lord of the Rings to come out because that's you'll get my money for that because what
the greatest.
The first one came out. The first one came out in 2003. I was 14, so I was young wide-eyed girl.
I thought it came out in 2001.
Yeah, I think it was 2001.
Really? The first
one? Nomi's trying to act like she's one of them.
No, Fellowship. I think it was. I'm 100% sure it came out in 2003.
I'm 100% sure you're right.
No, it didn't.
No.
I remember.
No, because I know how old I was when it came out.
I know how old I was.
It was 2001. No, I remember.
Okay.
I remember that my little boyfriend at the time was not into Lord of the Rings, and I like dragged him out to take me to watch it.
Oh, we need to do that in our lives. Like, just get boyfriends. Like, you don't like Lord of the Rings? Too bad. You're coming with me.
I remember after that, he was like, "Oh, okay. I think I kind of see why you like all this nerd stuff." And I'm like,
"That's stuff."
He was very much an athlete, so he was like the athletic type.
Okay,
well, he's kind of a nerd too, because he was like in theater and he was very artsy. So.
That's different than being into pop culture, though.
Different kind of nerd.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you got the crafters versus the artists. They think they're the same, but they're not.
No,
but they are. It's weird,
But speaking of nerds, that doesn't even have to follow into like actual Lord of the Rings stuff. We got Glenn Powell, who talks about Blue Angels and the love for aviation, and you can be nerdy in aviation as well. So I don't know. Like, I didn't know this was a thing. Oh,
this was not in my notes. Was I supposed to study for this?
Oh yeah, I think this was like at the end. I added this just because it was Memorial Day. So
okay.
I had this little section that was like, maybe we have a little bit of hope in Hollywood with a lot of men who aren't weirdos and aren't afraid to do American focused things and be proud of their country. So
that'd be nice.
I added a couple of, hot guys that are great actors as well. Like Glenn Powell was one of them. So apparently he worked on a documentary for the Blue Angels. And as we all know, the first time that I ever saw him was in Top Gun Maverick. I hadn't seen him in anything before. So he talks about this project and he says that he really wanted to get it right. He wanted to, honor all of the men and women that are part of the Blue Angels, and that he wanted to make something really great. And he didn't want to just put out garbage or whatever. And to the same thing, I had seen another article about him the other day too, that he actually moved out of Hollywood. He was living out there like most actors do. And he said that he just didn't like it. Hollywood's totally fake. It's not for him. And he actually is a Texas boy. So he moved back to Texas. So that's why I'm like, ooh, I'm going to follow his career now because he's not.
Well, okay, so weird story. I actually remembered him in Spy Kids.
Yes,
He was in Spy Kids.
Yeah, that's awkward now.
I was just like, he and I are the same age.
He was in Spy Kids. That is really weird.
Yes, he was. Like, I remember that because I remember him going to like, what is it, Junie, and he's just like kind of mocking him, like, like, and they're trying to get to like, it was the one that has George Lopez that he's the villain. It's been a while since I've seen Spy Kids, guys, so I'm sorry that I'm not up on that. But yeah,
Well,
I
now we
remember
need to
Glenn Powell.
rewatch Spy Kids.
I've never seen Spy Kids.
That's so funny.
Tabitha's never seen Spy Kids, so it looks like we're gonna have a movie night.
And I believe that this documentary is actually out already. It came out, I think, the 23rd of this month.
Mm-hmm.
So we can actually watch it now. But yeah, I was really excited to see that he's doing things like this, because it seems like now in Hollywood you can't attach yourself to anything that puts America in a good light.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of even doing things like this, even if it's like a project of his for a very long time, like a passion project or whatever, would be kind of like, you know, harmful for him to do this, because of course everyone hates America now in Hollywood. So I just thought this was cool.
No, it was really cool because I got so excited because he's on Twitter, but he's not active on Twitter. But he's like, yeah, I'm moving back to Texas. Like, he's not afraid. He's not ashamed of like his humble beginnings. So
Nomi's like, do you need a tour guide?
I'll just go straight up like, hey, do you want to go see Lord of the Rings? I am straightforward with that. And it's Glenn Powell, guys. Like, I liked him. Yeah, he was amazing in Top Gun Maverick, but I know, Lily, you and I talked about it. You weren't a fan of Anyone But You. I liked it, but, you know, it did have some faults in it, but I liked him in Anyone But You, just aesthetic-wise. Not
don't get me wrong. I mean, I wasn't mad when he was on screen.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, it wasn't my kind of rom-com. I mean, I don't completely hate it. I mean, I was entertained with some of the stuff, but yeah, not my thing. But I mean, no, he's a really good looking guy, and he's really talented. So hello.
Yeah, I know. And then going into more good looking guys, we got Austin Butler here. Oh, I was supposed to share that screen, but
not this guy.
Tabitha, you're gonna see him forever. I'm sorry, just get used to it.
Tabitha's got strong feelings against him.
I know.
Once you've seen this dude in the Shinar Chronicle, you're just ruined forever.
No, that's actually where I fell for him, was the Shinar Chronicle.
He was a terrible elf.
I love him. He was so good at that.
He was a hoe bag. I mean,
that's fine.
I don't like my elves to be hoe bags, but do you have any respect for Elrond if he was sleeping around?
So
actually, totally ignoring me.
Sorry.
I'm trying to explain to you guys why I put this in here. For Memorial Day, they're promoting their movie, The Bike Riders. So they actually had them visit the USO, and they went and took a couple of pictures. They were spending some time there. They actually brought them in like on their helicopters and took a bunch of pictures. I just thought it was cute too, because everybody who's working on this movie, like I said, doesn't really want to be attached to anything pro-America. He also just did a TV show called Masters of the Air, where they actually, you know, didn't make America seem like the bad guy, where they do that lately. So I just thought that was really cool. Like, Norman Reedus is here too. So all the Norman Reedus girlies from The Walking Dead. I'm excited. He's in that movie as well. So yeah, he's another one that isn't really kind of a big weirdo. He's not really on social media. He's not really at a lot of these functions for these people. And I appreciate that he's not out there being weird and loud and annoying about things, and he does things like this that are kind of subtle, and I appreciate it. I'm like, yay.
Yes, because we need more actors like that who actually like would talk to, like, get down to the nitty gritty, come down to earth, talk to people who actually like serve for the country. If you're gonna make a documentary, why not actually get to know the people who are actually doing the work? Mm-hmm. Don't betray them. Go learn about them.
Don't be Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, don't be like that. Did you give me another?
Yes.
Here we are.
And then our last man that we're here to.
Oh no, we're still talking about Austin Butler.
Yeah,
Really.
Let me get myself situated.
I'm like, well, I'm trying to move it along because Tabitha's over there, like.
Yeah, Tabitha's about to leave. She's like, all right, I did my bit. I'm gone.
Sorry, I've never
sorry,
been a
I'm sorry.
dude gusher, so it's
my favorite now officially. So everyone's gonna have to put up with him forever.
Oh,
But
this
he's-
movie
sorry,
where
not
he
sorry.
rides motorcycles and smokes, killing his lungs. Yeah, I'm all right. I'm fine.
So we got one actor who is not smoking and killing his lungs. We got Chris Pratt here, who's Garfield.
And then last but not least, we have, of course, Chris Pratt, who's not afraid of being patriotic.
Mhm.
Of course, on every single holiday or any kind of that we have, he's always very vocal about it as well. So this is something that he put up for Memorial Day too. And I just appreciate Chris Pratt because it's not just him being patriotic, but he talks about his religion a lot and his faith. And I love that about him. He's just he's a funny guy. You can tell he's just trying to make people laugh, trying to entertain people. He's not trying to be here being annoying either. And I love Chris Pratt to death too. So that's why I was like, yeah, I'm going to make a little segment that's like based men in Hollywood whose careers we need to follow.
Sure, it's their careers we're following, Lily. Sure.
Well, because they have good careers.
They do have good careers.
Like, it doesn't hurt that they're good-looking dudes.
That too, but hey, if you keep putting out a good movie that's gonna make me want to go watch you even more, hello.
Yeah, because I liked Chris Pratt when he was in the Magnificent Seven. He was amazing there, and I loved him in Parks and Rec because that's where I fell in love with him. I was like, man, even though he had a dad bod, I still fell for that dad bod. I don't know. It's just the personality that gets, and then like not only that he played Andy Dwight so well in Parks and Rec, but outside too that he is patriotic. He loves this country, and that he's a Christian, God-fearing man as well. That also makes me weak in the knees. Like, you love the Lord too. Like, wow, okay, there are rare unicorns.
Devil ain't
in the
got them
world.
all, Nomi.
Yeah, there are rare unicorns with all these like weirdos that will come out and say all these stupid things. So I appreciate it. Like Chris
Yeah.
Pratt's a little bit more on social media than the other two are, but I mean, he always posts like really funny things, really cool things. And yeah, he's not afraid to be patriotic and be like, whatever, I don't care what you guys think. This is my country and I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that he's very well, not only that he's vocal, but he will defend what he does believe, and he has defended himself. And he's a man of character, integrity, where James Gunn also defended him as well. He's just like that lovable guy because what was it where it was Chris Pratt. Someone came after him because the church that he was associated with is not what everyone thinks it is, like a homophobic church.
It was misconstrued. Yeah.
It was misconstrued. And then someone on Twitter came out and was like, if you don't get rid of Chris Pratt and replace him with this actor, you lost my money, or, you're going to find out. And James Gunn's like, what? Because of something that you don't believe in, what he believes in? What makes me think like I'm going to change my actor for what you want? You better, think twice, because I'm not going to change it. And if Chris Pratt were to leave, I'm leaving with him as well. So it's just standing up for yourself and not being, overbearing, not pushy. He's just himself. And that's what he is. He's just sharing what he does. He is a goofball. Whenever he does, I noticed when he's doing the Jurassic Park press tours, he has his little Lego figure, and he does the little videos where he's playing with himself. And then also with Mario, he goes into character.
Playing
I'm so
with
sorry.
his figure.
Playing with his figure. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I know I'm bad at his figurine.
He's very excited to talk about Chris Pratt. See, I found out
Again.
hot guys.
I know. We love. Here's the thing, guys. Chat, who's watching? We love hot guys who are very passionate about America and the Lord, and cartoons and
they're all
dinosaurs.
masculine, and they're all masculine men.
Yes, that's all we ask. See, Chris Pratt, Austin Butler, Glenn Powell are the downfall of KK. Lindsay Headland. They cannot comprehend why us girls lose it for these type of guys. They cannot mimic anything what these guys can produce.
You
And that's
guys
just-
really like these dudes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
Would you prefer that we talk about men like this or like some feminine dude like Harry Styles?
No, it's
No.
just like when I think of like a
Like-
masculine American man, Austin Butler's is not on the top of the chart.
He's a good looking dude.
Oh, I don't know
he's
what vendetta you have
Pretty.
against
He's
him,
pretty, but
but when but I do. He's
which is fine.
very
I'm surprised. I'm not
I mean-
surprised like you like him, but it's more of like because I live in my mind. I'm just like I don't
maybe
get it.
because I've actually seen him in interviews and I kind of see what kind of a person he is. So
He's just too pretty for me
He's
to be a
very-
masculine man.
but he is though. He's a masculine dude.
Mhm.
He's out
I
there
can't see
riding
it.
motorcycles, training with guns, and doing
Fixing cars.
fixing cars, doing all this stuff that I'm like, all right.
Yeah, you can fix that problem in the car. I don't know what it is, but you can still do it.
She's like, I accidentally filled the car with some kind of fluid. I don't know what it was. Secretly hides the dishwashing soap. Could you fix it?
I put sugar in the gas where the gas is supposed to be. Can you
Oh my
fix that for me? Yeah. No, don't do that, girls. Please don't do that. But
Yeah, don't.
yeah, if you don't want to get yelled at by your dad, don't do that.
But yeah, no. And then, I mean, I'm sorry, but like right next to, he was on the press tour a lot with Timothy Chalamet. So
Mhm.
that's why I was like,
Another masculine man.
he's not masculine at all.
It's one of those things I think of like you have this idea in your mind of what a masculine man is just based on how someone looks. But then when you get to know them, like you see their interviews, you actually see their hobbies, what they're doing, then you're like, oh, okay, well, maybe
Oh,
he
yeah.
doesn't look like a typical masculine man. But once you actually get to know them, it's like, oh, you actually have like these hobbies and do these things that I associate with masculinity. And that can
Yeah.
actually make you like someone more.
Of
So
course,
again,
I
you'll
don't
be able
know
to
the
see- So
man.
Lily is able to see it where
Oh,
Tabitha can't.
Everything is face value because I have no interest in following this man or watching any of his interviews. So I just see him at face value and I'm like, okay, well, he looks like he's 16, but that's okay. You know?
Oh my
Yeah, that's
gosh.
fair.
Where have you seen him? Because he does not look 16 at all.
I don't know. I'm just old and crotchety, apparently. And by the way, chat, Arnold Schwarzenegger is an American. He's just also an Austrian.
Yeah. But yeah, no, because I see it everywhere. It's like Dr. Rachel's saying, yeah, he might not look it, but he's got a lot of qualities that you kind of want in a guy that makes you feel feminine. Like whenever I'm watching his kind of interviews, Glenn Powell's interviews, Chris Pratt, they do things and they say things that you're like, yeah, that's like really masculine. That makes me want to be very feminine. That's like putting me in my feminine energy. And that's what a man should do. Like a masculine man should put us in our feminine energy because that's how we go together. So-
They
Oh
can
yeah,
make-
I mean, and of course, I hope everybody understands. Like, I'm not like actually putting down Lily for her preferences. I just like, part of it's the show, but like, I just can't see it. He is just too feminine looking for me. I can't.
Chris Pratt is feminine looking.
No, Austin
Oh.
Butler.
Oh, Austin Butler.
No, Chris
He's not
Pratt.
feminine looking.
Yeah,
No,
I'm looking at his pictures.
not.
I'm looking at 50 Shades of Austin Butler through the years, and everything is
Tabitha.
just pursed lips, hands in the glossy hair,
Tabitha.
boyish smile. I'm like, to me, the only time he's ever
Tabitha.
looked like a man was
Tabitha,
in
really?
Dune 2. So
Okay,
No.
so I know Austin Butler is the guy for Lily, but like he's not like muscular or like built or anything, but he is a good looking dude. I will give that
I
to
think he's
him.
pretty. Yes.
Yeah, but there's nothing girly or fragile about him. Or
When I say a
anything.
man is pretty, I'm not saying it. It's kind of an underhanded compliment.
He has pretty eyes. We can say that.
Yeah, he
I've
does.
told that to guys
I
before.
mean,
Like,
that
pretty
is-
I
eyes.
mean, this is giving me Justin Bieber vibes. This picture.
He is
so.
pretty, but there's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, for me, it does nothing for me. That's all I'm saying. Just like he's just too pretty of a man.
But he's not girly or feminine, though.
yeah,
he looks
he's-
like it to me. That's all I'm saying. Like to me, he looks
Tabitha.
feminine.
It's my birthday, Tabitha, and you're.
I'm
ruining my
sorry.
birthday, so-
I retract everything I said. Austin
Like,
Butler
and
is the man.
And then this is Glenn Powell. This is like this. I am weak for this guy. Okay, like how Austin Butler makes Lily weak. Glenn Powell is this guy for me because he's Texan. My real weakness right there. And then him being goofy as well. Because I do follow his Twitter. He's not as active, but he's silly in his interviews. He can be serious, but he's a true self. And that's what I like about guys who are like that. They don't care about an image. They don't care about I am this actor. It's like, yeah, I played it. Yeah, this is fun. So I don't know, Tabitha. Do you got any
thing that they're just like themselves? They're just out here.
I mean, are actors ever really themselves?
I don't know.
No, and I will say I disagree with Dr. Rachel here to a degree. You have to look like the pinnacle of America. So you ladies, here's the thing. I talk a big game and I believe strongly in my opinions. Not that they're everybody's truths. I have no problem with Lily liking this guy. Okay, I have no problem with that. If I were to tell you the guys that I had crushes on growing up, you all would laugh at me and I'm okay with that because I know it's weird. So
Benedict Cumberbatch was one of them. Yeah, I'm gonna make fun of you forever because that was a weird guy everyone used to like.
Yeah. No, to me, the only time he has ever been attractive was when he was Doctor Strange. But even then, I'm not attracted to him. I just think that's the only time he's ever looked attractive was when he was Doctor Strange.
I thought he was attractive when he was Khan in Star Wars or Star Trek.
He was alluring, I will say that.
Yeah.
He was alluring, but
he was very
I was
minded
attracted to him in a different capacity. I was more of interested in him. Again, it was alluring. It wasn't more of a hey sailor. No, that's what I say. I do. I have no. I can't see it with these particular gentlemen, except for Chris Pratt. But I apparently have struck a nerve, manly.
Yeah, but
it's so funny.
I will reach out to him and tell him to apologize to you for whatever he did for the Shannara Chronicles. I'm very upset about.
I'm sorry. As a child of God, I should be more forgiving and should let go of the past. But I'm telling you what, I was just so bothered by the Shannara Chronicles that I have not been able to give Austin Butler a bit of grace, except for in Dune. Well, I didn't mind him in Dune. I just felt like they didn't give him enough camera time.
What about Elvis? He did a great job in Elvis.
Yeah.
Well, but see, this also doesn't change his appearance. I just can't get on board with being attracted to him. He's too feminine for me. So
okay,
he's not feminine though. That's what I'm so confused
about. Okay, I guess my definition of feminine would be Harry Styles, and then also Timothée Chalamet, because he's just a little stick figure, and he just has.
So is Austin Butler. He's scraps put together.
No, he's not.
But hey, at the same time, gals, you have to understand. I like my man thick, like rugby players. I like rugby players. I like legs the size of tree trunks. Okay, so when I see men like Austin Butler, and he is in great shape, good for him because he's got discipline I don't have. I can't do anything. It's just he just. Go eat a steak and drink a milkshake.
Go eat a sandwich is what you're saying. Yeah, I mean,
I'll even make it for him.
But yeah, okay. I also like the thick boys too. Thick boys are that's what I say. When Chris Pratt was thick, I liked that a lot. But,
okay, Russell Crowe and Robin Hood. He just had one ab. Okay, beautiful.
Fair.
I love that.
Lily's not into it, but all three of us are the rest of us are just
no, that's just going to be my face for the rest of this. The stink face.
I know. I think Lily and I, guys, if you don't see Lily and I interact on Twitter anymore, you'll know that it was this moment in history that broke us. No, Lawrence Knight, Zac Efron is not my cup of tea. No, he is no. Not that he's not attractive. Again, it's not that he's not attractive or whatever. It's just I can't. No.
Yes. And then also, guys, if you didn't realize, look at the diversity that we're talking about men. We have like different opinions, different views, and different approaches on it. We're disagreeing, but look at us still like, I think you're wrong, but it's okay. I respect you, even though you're wrong.
No,
Just
no,
kidding.
don't speak
Just
for
Lily
me.
has no respect.
Don't
for
speak for me.
Lily.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Maybe
Lily's like, who invited her?
maybe I will go reach out to Austin Butler's like, hey, you better apologize what you did.
Yeah. I've been waiting for like what 15 years. It's
Can you go pump some iron for me real quick? And it's not for me, it's for a friend. That I'm also going to share to another friend.
right. It's deep down, it's not really for me. It's for
But we actually had a question that came up, and it's Cav who asked us if the panelists have seen who's been cast for the He-Man live action movie. I heard talks about this, but I did get an article. Thank you to Smu the DJ. Here we are, and I don't think.
Oh,
I don't know who.
Yeah, passed for a young
Who's
Dolph
that?
Lundgren kind of guy.
Nicholas Galitzine.
Galitzine?
What's he been?
Galitzine.
Wait,
Somebody
This
reach
guy.
out to him and ask him how to pronounce his name.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. He's good looking. I like his hair. His little earring is pretty cool.
I like his hair.
But only time will
He
tell.
does have nice hair.
Now that I'm seeing is like, okay, like we'll have to see the blonde hair on him and stuff. So
He's got good, I think the good features going on in here, and he does like in the eyes, the seriousness. Like I said, I think with Hollywood magic the way they do it, he's got the good foundation to mirror Dolph Lundgren, which I don't know. Nowadays we don't even know if that's really what they're going for, or if they're going for their own unique flair. Maybe they'll give him blue hair or something.
Blue hair.
well, the He-Man has blonde hair, so I want to see that platinum. No, I wouldn't sell platinum blonde, but maybe like that yellow blonde on him.
I don't know this gentleman, and I don't know his history and his work, but just from appearances alone, I think he could hit the spot there. I think he could do it.
I believe in him because we'll just time will tell, because I don't know who he is. I'll have to do my research, but we'll have to see what he brings us. But I saw that there's Shadow of Hawk that asked us what's our favorite Star Wars movie. We're just doing real quick because we got a little something that we need to get going with, which is Lily. We're gonna hang out with her. But my favorite, if anything, you can hate me. I really liked Rebel One.
Rogue
One. I'm sorry, Rogue One. I'm sorry.
Lily.
Oh God. I'm sorry, Rogue One.
Nomi, get out. I'm just kidding.
She's almost like a rhino. She's like a Star Wars fan in name only.
And also take Tabitha out. Just me and Rachel we're gonna end this stream together.
Hey, at least I know what Rogue One is.
It's true. So yes, at least she knows what Rogue One is. I'm sorry. Like I said, hate me.
That was great, Nomi. That's like what, the second or third Star Wars thing you've tried.
It took a while. I was like, what the hell is Rebel?
Rebel One. I know. I thought maybe it was the cartoon.
That's not a Star Wars.
Because I'd never seen the cartoon, so I thought, that doesn't sound familiar.
No, it's the movie that's supposed to be before when I liked it. It was good because Felicity, the main actress, Felicity. Oh my gosh, I can't remember her name, but I think she did a good job in the character. Because this is I know before like all of Star Wars, but anyone else like quick round?
So she was cool. That movie was good. I actually liked it. That controversial, but that actually has my favorite scene of Darth Vader's probably ever, the hallway scene. Where he goes crazy on everybody. Good. That's my absolute favorite. Star Wars movie. I probably, oh my gosh. It's like picking which one of your children is your favorite.
It's more like when you say which Lord of the Rings movie is your favorite. It's like all of them.
Exactly.
They're all the same. They're all one movie.
I think that one's probably easier. I think for that one, it's Two Towers.
Oh, interesting.
That one's easier for me. But Star Wars. Well, for sure, Revenge of the Sith. And oh my gosh, probably tied is The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the originals. Final answer.
All of the originals, just all of them, not one. Just all
I
of
love so much about each one. I can't say which one was my favorite.
And
this is one of those bear in the woods. Yeah, it's one of those bear in the woods with a man kind of question. There is no right answer.
That question, that general question.
Oh my gosh, that
yes, yes.
Oh,
Sorry,
God,
I didn't mean to bring up.
No, it's okay.
I was just like, I can't.
thought of that question. I still can't answer it.
But it's okay because we love talking about Star Wars because that is Lily's favorite thing. Because speaking of Lily, we're gonna celebrate her because we are
family.
We are family. But yeah, no, we are family. But we got a little cake here for Lily. She is turning 21 again.
I wish.
And then
I'm working on the time machine, guys. Don't worry.
let me know when it's ready. I got a couple of trips I want to take. But yes, it's Lily. We're gonna go ahead and sing our birthday song to her, and then we will go around the horn because we're coming to the end of the show. But we want to celebrate Lily for who she is. She's accomplished so much, and she will get on my case when I am such a dummy when it comes to Star Wars.
That's okay, Nomi. I think I've one upped you, so it's you're safe. By the way, are we singing the white version or the gospel version of that song?
There was a very worrying lack of candles in my house for birthdays, so
oh no.
You just relight them and blow them out as needed.
I don't know where they went. We keep buying them, and then I don't know where they are.
Somehow that happens in my house too.
Interesting. Maybe somebody's eating them.
Oh, Lily. Look at that. All right, kids, are you ready?
Fun fact, this is actually my favorite cake. It's a tiramisu.
Good taste. Very nice.
Well, I don't know, Tabitha.
Your eyeshadow. It looks a little feminine to me, but that's okay. By the way, your eyeshadow is gorgeous. I'm like, let's zoom in a little closer. When she closes, look at that.
Look down.
It matches your crown.
Gold shine on you. Ooh. Oh, stop. That was cute. I liked that.
She's so pretty. I hate her.
What's her secret?
What are you drinking?
No, I'm going to argue with Tabitha because she's too pretty. Just kidding.
Man, this stream is nothing but arguing.
That's what happens when you get a bunch of women together who don't know what they're talking about with Star Wars.
I thought women were supposed to support each other.
Well,
we are the toxic males.
Yes.
Well, that's what happens when we bring a woman here who doesn't see the same eye to eye about masculine men. So.
I know, Dr. Rachel.
Poor Dr. Rachel. She's like, I don't know. I'm here today, guys.
I really don't. I've said nothing.
But you have in the chat, and I see you.
We see you, and you're valid.
Yes.
You are. Yeah.
Oh, that's thank you. I made a donut. I don't know.
I'm just on camera so I can be in the chat.
You're here to. You said it yourself. You're here to be pretty.
Right. Sit pretty.
You did say that earlier.
You did.
Yes. Did we want to sing happy birthday?
Yeah. That's what I'm asking. Are we singing the black version or the white version?
What's the black version?
What?
The black version is a lot more fun. When white people sing happy birthday, it sounds like it's a funeral. Happy birthday to you.
Can you lead us to the black version?
Happy birthday.
Oh.
Happy birthday to you. See, that's a lot more fun and interesting than and every white person I know that starts that song, it's always in the worst key that's ever been invented. There's no way to harmonize with that song with white people.
Well, I guess I'll go ahead and lead it, and I'll start it with like a good key. I'll do we'll do the lame. We'll do the lame one because I don't think I've ever heard the black one, but I think I know, but I am not. I don't have enough soul to lead that.
I mean, neither do I. I gave it my best.
I'm way too white.
Well, no.
Either.
Yeah, I'm brown, but I'm too white for the black version of it. But let's go ahead.
Do Hispanic people not have like a fun? Maybe I'm stereotyping here, but do Hispanic people not have a fun, festive version of that song?
We do, but we need mariachis for that.
We do.
I can go get my guitar.
One-man band
we also do gritos in singing Spanish in birthday Spanish.
What is that? I don't.
A grito?
Is that the guy that Han Solo shot? Like,
it's a scream. That's basically like a little cry out. Like, yeah, I agree with that. You know how redneck Americans go like, hell yeah. Gritos are like the hell yeah for Mexicans.
Okay.
So whenever you hear like when you hear mariachis and then you hear one going,
yeah,
that's a grito.
Okay.
So look, at Tabitha like learning and everything.
Well, I am Hispanic adjacent. You guys have allowed me to have blessed me with that title. Yes. So still waiting on my name though.
We didn't bring that. Sorry, Cav. Sorry, Lily. Man, next year for your birthday, we'll do it.
Any tequila.
We'll do it for your next 21st birthday.
Yeah. And then here we are.
Mags' birthday's coming up too, so we might bring this tequila for hers.
Yeah, we can do that as well. We can totally do that for Mags. We'll just do shots all around, guys. But we're doing the mariachi band, but we're gonna just do it the white version, and I will lead the key into that.
I'm so ready for this.
Let's go.
All right, let's. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lily. Happy birthday to you. Woo!
Yay!
That white version of that song.
That was so long.
Beautiful.
Yes. I will make it fun. Even if it's awkward, I'll make it even more awkward.
That's the motto of every introvert.
Yeah, that's actually one of the my quotes in life. But
I'm like, I was just waiting for that because I've been like staring at this for the past 2 hours.
I had to try not to laugh when I read your message in the private chat. You're like, when is it going to happen? Because my cake is melting.
Dr. Rachel, I just saw your little private message for our safety. You should just pull up the video as long. No, we do it live here, Rachel. We do it live.
Doing it live.
We keep it real.
Yes, because we all are real ones here. But with that being said, guys, we are hitting the 2-hour mark. I want to thank everyone in the chat who is here hanging out with us and giving us good questions, hearing our discussions. We don't have the same agreement about men, but we do have the same agreement that Hollywood is failing and they are not creating original stories. And we need more men to support us and make us vulnerable and make us weak. We do need men in our lives, guys. But I'm going to go around the horn and we're going to start with our first guest, which would be our resident guest here, which would be Tabitha. What do you have going on coming up in the weeks ahead?
Well, tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be having another art party. Sorry, Rachel, we're full. But we have a bunch of artists coming onto my channel, Dreaming Tabitha, because I am an artist here on YouTube, and we are going to be doing a art prompt. We are going to be letting fate, i.e. the dice, decide what it is we're going to draw, and it's always super fun. We always encourage people to come along with us in the chat and draw with us and see what they can create, because it's while it's meant to be fun, it's also supposed to be a show that lets people know that if you are an aspiring artist, or if you're an artist who's kind of gotten into a slump, maybe creatively, it's a great way to get out of that rut or just jumpstart. Because you'll see a lot of us, we do art for a living. Like, it is our passion, or it's even our job, our occupation. And sometimes we suck at it because we just don't know what to do. But then you'll see our body of work and you'll be like, I don't understand how you did this so badly. So if you want some laughs, some interesting conversations, and then a chance to just see how artists kind of function, join us tomorrow on my channel. I have had Dr. Rachel on before, and I look forward to having her back on. And we've done some interesting things. We've done some very sexy house elves from Harry Potter, Eldor the Free. You know, and and then last time we tried to do Indiana Jones. That didn't work out really well, but it was fun.
What's this theme gonna be, or do you not know yet?
Secret. All right, I'll let everybody know. Just don't tell my other guests. We are going to be doing Egyptian gods.
Oh.
So we're going to have the fate dice is going to decide which god. They're going to decide what kind of hair or headpiece they're going to wear, their personality trait, and even their occupation. And then, as always, there is a random bonus question where we have to include something random. One time was a lollipop, another time was a pan flute. You never know.
Oh, Egypt. I love Egypt.
Yes. And that's what I love about it. Yeah. Come through. Tabitha always has like the best paint parties, drawing parties. So even if you're not a good artist, everyone starts somewhere. And
absolutely,
if you're a stick figure master art person, it's still art, right? Because that's the best I can do. But
you sound like Mando.
I know. Oh, we'll talk. But Dr. Rachel, what do you got going on?
Not much going on my end, but speaking of art, I am looking for new art projects to do. I'm currently working on actually some art for Jed's book. So he's currently writing a book, and he's commissioned me to do some art. I've got a few things I'm working on, but one of them is one of the characters, just like a close-up of her eyes. So I've been sketching that out recently, and here's what I've got so far.
Ooh,
those eyebrows are awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I love those eyebrows.
I'm jealous of those eyebrows.
Jealous of those eyebrows too.
Beautiful.
But yeah, so that's coming along, and then I've got a couple cosplay ideas. I do want to start making a new cosplay soon. I haven't done that for a while, but just pushing around some ideas. But if anyone's interested in art, please go check out my channel, Out of Line Crafting.
Yes, she does a good job, and her videos are quite entertaining. I like them. But technically we have our other doctor here. Not yet, but she's pending. But we got Lily. What do you have going on?
Not a lot either. Just basically this stream for now. Just because, guys, I finished school. I'm over everything. I don't want to do anything.
You've earned it.
I'm like, I don't want to do anything right now. I'm on I'm on just what is it called? I can't even think of the word because my brain I'm on vacation mode right now. I don't want to think about anything.
You're checked out.
So basically, I've just been just hanging out, watching movies, catching up on books that I actually want to read. because I have to start studying for my license soon, so I'm kind of dreading that. Yeah. But other than that, yeah, just follow me on Twitter, and you'll see if I have anything else happening.
To see Lily hot takes. No, I didn't say hot cakes. I said hot takes.
Yes, and me spamming Tabitha with Austin pictures every day for
Yeah,
the rest of
gonna
her
come.
life. The rest of her life.
Blocked.
Yo, walk into that one, Tabitha.
So Tabitha, I'm gonna take it easy right now because this movie comes out later in June, and then it's gonna ramp up again. So just be ready for that.
That's okay. I can send you pictures too. The war is on.
We're just gonna see like a Twitter war between Tabitha and Lily.
Everyone's gonna block us and unfollow.
They're like, what's going on?
What's happening?
What happened? Disagreements is what happened.
The internet happened.
But they're blessing us with good-looking men, and I'm not complaining.
Yeah,
but
other than that, thank you guys so much for my birthday song and for Tabitha being here, spending my birthday with me.
Gosh, I don't know if I believe it.
No,
You're welcome. No, thank you for having me.
I'm like, even though we had our little disagreements, I still love Tabitha to death. Okay,
Tabitha is a love. Tabitha is well loved here, and we love having her here on Dames and Dorks. And I will go ahead and say my part. You can catch me on Monday nights for Call of Cthulhu on Moonskull with Sevvy, Sevvy and Moss every Monday at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And then with next week too, we are having a week off next week because some of us will be at the Dallas meetup. So we will be there hanging out, lounging. See if you see us, say hi. And that's when I say us, me. I don't know anyone else is going, but
she is us.
But I'd be happy if any of you girls just showed up like, oh, cool, we're all gonna hang out, let's go. But yeah, so next week no show. We will tweet it out again, and you can follow me on Twix, whatever I do. And I'm doing a lot more gaming on the kick side. It's mainly me and Tabitha playing golf, and me getting frustrated because she's better at golf than I am. And, oh, I heard those knuckles pop.
Those are my elbows. So I was like,
oh, those
I hope nobody heard.
And then after golf, we're going to do something else in another game that you will have to catch us on Twix. But thank you again to those in the chat. Smu the DJ being our moderator here. We appreciate you all just hanging out. I hope you have a good weekend, and we will catch you on the next stream. Bye, everyone. Take care.